Bim bum bum ba-ding, bum ba-dum ba-ding ba-bum bum ba-do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do. Bing bum bing yum bum galing sum bum baning yum bum pa la bum bing ka ting ka bum pa la bum pa yum bum pa ting la bum maning la bu singa te bum pa ka bum singa bum ninga la munga bum pa la bum pa la bum pa ninga munga ni singa la bum pa ninga bu pa ya pa ninga su Masigalapu la e awu ne e fu asha wa mum pala fa pum 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 e mola e a huleo le he he hu ne wa singa wa fimbo e hu a mingo langa bum bum Ninga mumbai ya bum fala e u chu chinga Galapum, Bimbo, Elasapum. What the heck? Well, I guess I'm done with that. I just want to be silent. That's right. Not even talking. But I'm not silent still. Yo. Wow. Okay, so all 8 people that's ever watched me is here. Well, hi guys. How's it going? Um, I'm just chilling here, drawing again. I realized that, I'm not always channeling like whatever I'm thinking, especially not, especially not. Thoughts are just one function of the body, but there's another part of me that's doing this. It's not even really thinking. So that's interesting. Or I think it's interesting. But I really think everything's interesting in some form or fashion just because it even exists. And that is odd. Earlier I was riding my bike, right? And just seeing all the houses, all the people, yeah, it really is. It really is freaky. Why are we here? What are we doing? What's the deal, universe? Why'd you gotta be so infinite? But it's also just like not something to even question for so many. And it's a silly question for so many. And then I question those so many. Question those so many. And I say, where do you come from? Who are you? Yeah, where was I? Right here? Anywhere? Everywhere? In all moments? How is this moment just an alternate version of every other live stream I've ever done? Somebody asked me earlier. Oh yeah, and the characters. Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, that's probably the chemical. I mean, if we want to talk about the brain, which I try not to really attribute much to, but if we want to talk about the brain, like that's probably the chemical that is going on here. Yeah, somebody asked me like how many thoughts I have a day, or a minute, or a moment. But I mean, it really depends. It's probably waves. Thoughts seem to be waves, like weather. That's one feeling I have about synchronicity is I mean, yeah, it's a track. Yeah, it's a sign that you're on the right track. But also, it's just a wave. It's a frequency wave. And so, no matter who's ever around you in any moment, is, is part of your frequency. So if somebody says something, it's just you guys both are tapping into that frequency because it's like weather. Okay, the frequencies are like weather. They're just waves of ideas that fly by, of sounds that take the form and shape of ideas. take the form and shape of ideas, right? Just like you took the form and shape of a human. Your soul had to match the frequency to get here. Your soul had to match a frequency. And is it really special? Is it really like, oh wow, you've climbed the ranks? Mm, I mean, yeah, it's special, but also it's just whatever. Because all the levels are level. And like, as I love, after learning about concepts and thinking about concepts and stuff, I can always just say, oh wow, oh hey, they're just concepts. They're just conceptualizations. And we can talk about it. And we do talk about it. And that's the game. But the game's so much more fun when you know it's a game. Like, you know that divinity can never be defined. Everybody's crazy though. Everybody's crazy because they think things need to be a certain way. But that also makes them magic because they need certain ingredients for their spells. Like I walk through any sort of field of beings, humans, and I notice how each of them has judgments, each of them has thoughts, and all of these thoughts are kind of just their own subjective reality. Yeah, of course. But they're limited. You're limited. I'm limited. We're limited by the ingredients. Because moment after moment, you are manifesting projecting out what's going on, fractalizing. Because of course you're a fractal, we're fractals, we're all fractals of nature, just growing and experiencing itself. But and it always takes shape and form, geometric form, or light form, from whatever happens before and after it, above and below it. And it's wild. But these fractals, like on our level, it appears in us expressing things, expressing certain feelings or ideas, and they just perpetuate, just as if we were to be in an area, and then that area certain things happen in that area over and over and over, it's probably just because you're I mean, your portion, your mind. I love that. I love how we say my mind, your mind, because really it's the mind, but it's like your portion that is assigned. Your portion that's assigned is assigning meaning, and then once the meaning has been assigned, like boom, reality. Reality then exists. And then after meaning is assigned over and over and over and over and over, then it's like condensed. And by many different versions of you assign the same sort of meaning, then we have it. There we have it. Or is it always different, slightly different? I'd say it's always slightly different. It's always different, always the same. Always yes and always no. I love that. I love that. Remember when I used to freak out and be like, self, other. Yeah, nah. Nah. I mean, nah. But yeah, yeah. What? Dude, you're contradicting yourself. No. I mean, yeah. So, anyways, these fractals, like, they just continue to exist. And that's why you feel stuck. But you see, with everything I just said, that's only because it's a belief. That's only happening because it's a belief. And we could be anywhere. We could be anything. And really, we are everything and am anything. Of course, of course, of course, of course. So that is the limitation I was referring to. Simply mental limitation. So yeah. Should I continue this? That's one of those things. Like actions. Actions that take place. Like where are you gonna invest your energy into? Or are you gonna focus on? Because then then if everything I said is, whatever it is you said, then are you supposed to be like wary of where you put your energy, what you do, what you pay attention to? Probably not too much. Probably not too much because what is it that's judging whatever it is that you're putting your awareness to? Just put your awareness to anything because it's the awareness and it has to be aware of everything. But just do what resonates simply because it resonates. Magically crazy. Because it resonates, it needs to happen. Or it should happen. But it also doesn't need to. Like, geez. I follow my I try to follow my intuition, but then like I go against my intuition. But was that just my intuition going against my intuition in order to teach myself a lesson? You know what I mean? So then we get back to that thing of everything always being all right. Always. Oh boy, we need some sort of problem. You gotta go out. You gotta make money. You gotta do. You gotta exit. You gotta be on time. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Literally, whatever. If you think so. If you know so. If you know so, it'll happen. If you know so, it'll happen. With that collective, right? That collective, right? That collective is really putting all their thought power into, dude, no. The collective